Okay, so the next thing that we were going to look at is creating, a policy, or, again, in Team Dynamics, some of this language is hard coded in. You're going to see the word article, but yeah, for us, certainly, we're focused on policies. So I'm going to click plus new article, and then you can see there's kind of a little bit of a web form to fill out here. So I just want to walk you through this, make sure you sort of understand these different fields, and that we feel like if we ever did need to go to do this, that we would know what we're doing here. So category, again, I believe that's responsible unit. So just kind of roughly speaking, where does this fall? We just heard F&O finance, maybe that's the correct correct responsible unit or correct category. So you would just choose the appropriate value. The order and pinning, that has to do with kind of where the article or policy would show up, right? So if you wanted something to be at the top, kind of like a pinned tweet, if you will, if you've ever seen that, it kind of just is stuck at the top, just because maybe you think that's the most important one, or something that should always be read first, or something to that effect. So you can kind of decide there. The subject, this would just be the short description. So, usually something like 10 words or less. It doesn't have to be, you've got tons of room here to add several characters, but I would say on average, it's usually, kind of 10 words or less, just sort of generally the high level description for that policy or article. So you'll want to put that in. Notice the red asterisk here. We do have to put something in. It is required, and that red asterisk lets us know that it is required. Here's our body. So of course, this is kind of the meat on the bone, right? You can just kind of type things in and hit enter and so on. You've got several different tools here that you might recognize from like a Word or even Excel. Bold, underline, all this stuff, right align, left align, fonts and font sizes and images and hyperlinks and, so on and so forth, right? So you would kind of create your content as you see fit, or if you're somebody like me who likes to cheat or likes to cheat whenever possible, you may engage in using some templates here. So, again, these are kind of tools that help us fill out a good bit of the article without having to do it from scratch every single time. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about templates in a bit, but just for now, since I'm creating a new article, if I am creating a new university policy, it might behoove me to enter in this template. So watch what happens when I do. I click that button, and then, boom, I've got all this stuff in here. I've got the gobbledygook that I entered in manually earlier. Then I've got, italicized instructions. It's kind of guiding me, describe the purpose of the document, right? Who does a policy apply to? It's kind of letting me know what information I need to fill in, and we can do it in a consistent way, so that as we are looking at different policies, we kind of know beforehand roughly what the format will be or what content we would expect to see there, right? So templates can save you a ton of time. I would definitely recommend using them whenever possible. I believe the policy office is going to be the quarterback of this area, but we can add as many templates there, sort of as needed, when using Team Dynamics. Okay, so let's say that this is good. Let's say I've got enough content here. I've filled all this out. We know from the red asterisk that the body is indeed required. Certainly got more than enough content here. Let's say that's good for now. Then I can move on to some optional fields. They're optional, but you may still consider wanting to use them or actually using them. And let me explain why. The title or the subject, right? The short description, the subject, the body, the article summary, and the tags field here. 2 of those are required, 2 of those are optional, but all 4 of them are indexed from a search perspective, right? So earlier you saw me type in the word provost just to say, okay, what's out there that has the word provost in it. But let's say it didn't really make sense for you to enter in the word provost here in the body, right? You could add it here in the article summary. You could say something like, this is about the, provost and so on. Or you could even add that as a tag. You could say, I want anything that, anytime somebody enters in the word provost, I want to make this article more likely to show up in my search results, right? Think about acronyms, think about slang, colloquialisms, imagine, I'm not sure if onion is the, is the technical term, but I could see onion perhaps being, a bit of slang or colloquialism, in which case you could actually enter in that as a tag, in which case, anytime somebody put that in, this article would be more likely to return, right? So some things to think about there, kind of from a search engine optimization perspective, you almost kind of have to put your end user hat on. So, the people who are going to be coming here and actually finding these articles, looking for them, what are they going to enter in? Are they going to enter in acronyms? You've got MLB, you've got Major League Baseball, right? You've got Atlanta Braves, you've got, the Tar Heel, you've got lots of different, baseball, programs out there, right? But, what is the, what's the optimal set of data to enter in here from a search perspective? You can kind of think that through and hopefully put in, the best parameters.
Hey, Marcus, can I ask a question?
Sure.
When you're typing that tag, I noticed you did a lowercase o. Is it case sensitive? So if someone searches capital O onion, would that show up differently as two separate tags, or could it figure out that you mean?
So what this is likely doing, it's trying to find a search, or it's trying to find from the list of available tags things that match this. And if it doesn't find one, it presents one for you to click to kind of at the same time enter it in as a tag or create it as a brand new tag, and then also associate that tag to this article, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So if there is an uppercase onion, it should show up here. Notice how if I just did, lowercase, it doesn't find any other results, but it does find, lowercase, and then it tries to, stick that in there for you. Does that make sense?
Yep. Sounds great. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so we're finally getting to that status field, that I've been referencing, previously. I just want to explain kind of roughly what these items are for, just because we are going to see them. I want to make sure we understand, sort of their purpose. So not submitted, if I create an article and it's set to the not submitted status, that's just me kind of getting the ball rolling, right? I've got the thing out there. It exists. It's not ready for prime time. I don't want anybody looking at it. It's not available to the public, but I do have it saved off in here so that, I can kind of improve it or prune it over time, right? So this is kind of where you'd want to start, if the article was sort of very, or the policy, was very sort of raw and, not really sort of ready for anybody to review it. If you think, hey, I think this is good. I think this policy is kind of, it's the formatting's good, all the content's good, everything's, up to date, right? Then we can set it to the submitted status. And then on that submitted status, somebody with more elevated permissions, somebody from the policy office, I do believe, can then find the article that has all the articles or policies that have a submitted status, and then, choose to approve them from there. So then they could choose the approved status here, or they could choose the rejected status and say, thanks for your effort. Not going to work. Got to do this, got to do that. Got to update, X and Y. And then last but certainly not least is archive. So for the record, you can delete articles. There is a permission that allows some people to actually remove a policy or an article just wholesale. But a lot of times people don't like doing that. If you delete it, it's gone. If you archive it, it kind of yanks it out of the live search results so that it's not, it's not as easy to find for your average user, but it doesn't actually delete it, right? The content is still there. You could take it from an archived status back to an approved status if something changes and maybe, something becomes relevant again, and you can flip it back on, so that's kind of what the archived statuses for. So I think for us, we'll mainly be operating in the submitted, not submitted, and archived statuses. And then people from the policy office would be more so operating within the approved and rejected statuses. Okay. Now, assuming I am in the policy office and I have, the correct permissions, I can flip that, and that allows me to actually approve and publish this thing. Once it's approved and published, that can show up. It could be, made publicly available to anybody, or, nestled underneath the responsible unit, and people could begin, kind of consuming it. And then here we've got the next review date. It's a field in Team Dynamics that's meant to represent sort of when you'd want to look at this next. So, I would say most of my clients, they're probably looking at these things at least once a year, sometimes monthly, sometimes quarterly, whatever the right cadence is for you. It's sort of up to you to decide. But this is sort of when you think you'll look at this next. So you might say, okay, May 2022. Maybe the 13th, I'll look at this again, and I can actually report on this field so that I can see, any items that I need to review, next month, next quarter, that type of thing. Right? Now, this is the article owner, right? So this is, essentially it's putting my name in there because I'm creating this article, but I could click on this magnifying glass and make the owner, anybody who's in this list. You've got 151, some odd resources in here. So, if I add Kim, I can say, okay, Kim's the owner here. Maybe, that's what I think is best for me. And then if you look at an article, you'll actually see you have the ability to give feedback. And this box is saying whether or not you want the article owner to get feedback. So anybody who owns the policy, if somebody leaves feedback and says, hey, I didn't really understand, or I think there's some big typos in there, or you're missing X or Y, I don't think this was a helpful resource for me, the owner would get that feedback immediately via email, and then, theoretically log in and do something about, that particular bit of feedback. Now, down at the bottom, so everything after this notify owner box, everything here that you see, effective date, issuing officer, revised, policy contact, responsible unit, these are all custom attributes or custom fields that were added by one of the administrators of the system. These are fields that either we were trying to track data elements from, say policy stat, and or, when we're doing the migration, and or just fields that we felt like we needed to kind of effectively manage, the policies or articles in here, kind of throughout the life cycle. Okay, you'll notice that all of these are optional. You don't have to put any data in here, at least not at the moment. But of course, you could interact with all of these fields as needed, kind of as you go. Then at the very bottom of this web form, you would hit the save button. And then once you hit the save button, some different things will happen. If you've got the article set to, say, the submitted state, that means article reviewers or publishers, could start looking at it and vetting it and so on. So I don't want to create too much garbage. You can hit save if you want to, just so you have an article to play with. We are in Sandbox after all, but I'm actually not going to hit save just because I don't want to create too many garbage items in here.